Well, Iowa volleyball is in some pretty lofty air right now for Iowa volleyball. In fact, its best start since 1988. And third-year coach Bond Shymansky joins me, and you must be having a ball. This must be so much fun after where you guys have been.
It's always fun. Coaching's fun. I think if you let it be on a day-to-day basis, winning is definitely more fun, and everybody enjoys that. But I think the best part for us is taking on the challenge of what seems impossible to other people, doing something that no one else believes in. That's where we get a lot of enrichment and enjoyment from, and it's definitely rewarding. But there are not often things that are rewarding that are fun along the way. And this has certainly been a fun season so far for our group, and they really are enjoying themselves, which makes it good for us.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have this right. You guys were 2-18 in the league last year.
Yeah.
And you're 4-2 right now. And for those kids who went through that, it's just got to be special.
Well, last year we were good. And a lot of times the old Vikings coach, Bud Grant, used to say, it's not who you play, it's when you play them. And last year we really had to run the gauntlet so early in Big Ten season that you could just feel our group not hanging on to our belief and our self-confidence long enough. And by the time we got deeper into Big Ten play, we just couldn't salvage it. And that happens. Momentum is a big part, and these are young people that are trying to find their own self-confidence and really believe in who they are becoming. And so our off-season mantra became true mental toughness. We're on a mission right now as a group, and each individual player is on it, and our program's on it, and it's to develop our true mental toughness. So so far so good, but plenty of huge challenges in front of us every single day in Big Ten play.
Yeah, I mean, you've done well, but I'm sure you'll admit the hardest part of the Big Ten schedule is still to come. But I want to ask you about a roster that has, I think I'm right, 10 or 11 players from 10 or 11 different states, which is maybe a little bit different for Iowa. And then, of course, you've got a transfer from Missouri via Hawaii, and just a real different kind of mix and different than what Iowa volleyball is used to.
Yeah, I tease them that we're like land of misfit toys. That we're just from all over the place and different walks and types and all that. And the challenge of taking a kind of traditional cellar dweller and bringing it up inside the Big Ten is that when we first got here, I'm from Iowa, and we knew, hey, there's great kids in our state, and we want to go out and recruit them. But recruiting happened so early that we knew it was going to take 2 or 3 years just to even get to the available kids that were talented enough to help us win the Big Ten. So,
yeah, and let me interrupt you just a second, because people should know this guy is from Iowa City. He went to Iowa. He played volleyball on the club team in Iowa. Then you had a great run as a coach, the head coach at Georgia Tech, and then after that Marquette, before getting this job. So I mean, there aren't too many guys who can say that they just are totally entwined with the school at which they're coaching.
Yeah, that's right. I bleed black and gold. There is no doubt about it. And I'm always kind of wisecracking that I'm sure I'm one of the only coaches here that can sing the fight song. And I grew up on it. I grew up 5 blocks from the arena here, and my father was a professor at Iowa. We used to come to sporting events all the time. We would walk to football games and walk to the arena to see wrestling or basketball or baseball, volleyball, anything that we could kind of take in as sports fans, because we're in Iowa. This is the Hawkeye State. This is a big deal, and so there's a lot of pride for me. I got my undergrad and grad degrees here, and I just think I get it. I don't have to explain it to a lot of people. I certainly don't ever have to sell it. I'm a product of it, and so I believe in it, and makes it a lot of fun. And so when we go out there and had to then recruit kind of in the interim period here, and try to find transfers or just people that could make an instant impact, because it's tough to take it's tough to walk in the door and just take seniors in high school that are available. Who is that? Who is a senior right now available in high school that can help you win in the Big Ten? All those kids are committed, and they commit now as freshmen in high school and sophomores in high school. So it took a lot of patience on our part, and I'm fortunate that I have an AD with a lot of patience and recognizes that. And yet I didn't want to make it an excuse. I can't stand it when other coaches say, oh, when I get my players, oh, give that coach a few years when they get their players. And I just want to look at them and say, who are you coaching right now? those are your players right now. So we've really worked hard to embrace the players and the talent that we have. And the old phrase, you got to dance with who brung you. This is the group we got, and we're not ashamed of them. We know that we have to do things maybe a little different or unique, and we have to find their uniqueness and figure out how they can use it to serve their team. But it's going well, and it's a really fun growth phase for us and for them as young people.
Well, let me ask you quickly about your team. We talked about the setter, Loxley Kiala. Did I say that right? She's Hawaii transfer from Missouri. And then you've got 5 players with over 100 kills each. So she obviously knows how to spread things out. And, I can tell just from looking at the stats. I've watched you on TV a couple of times, but you play good defense. I mean, it's a really nice team.
Yeah, we have really good balance. And, last couple of years, we were a little bit more of a one-trick pony. We'd have to ride one player or one hitter, and just wasn't enough. And Loxley has really embraced the offensive concepts. And again, she's a transfer here, so this is only her second year in our program. And that's a bummer for me because, of course, she's here and gone, and we'll have to start from scratch again with a really talented incoming freshman setter next year. But, to watch her on that learning curve and watch her develop and still we're teaching the old dog new tricks this season. That's a lot of fun. And to have, the other night when we beat Purdue, we had 5 players in double-digit kills. That's a really good testament to our passing, but also our ability to rely on what each player can contribute.
Real quick, Lauren Brobst, she's your leading attacker. Just tell me about her.
Yeah, Brobst is a senior. She's from Sioux City, Iowa, so she's more of a homespun product, and she was definitely a little more of a project. When we first came in, we spent just tons and tons of training time changing her arm swing because we knew that she had some serious power. She's a good jumper, a nice athlete, but just didn't have a lot of control and tended to hit the ball low into the blocker out of bounds. And so we really kind of started back from square one and did a lot of box work and training work. And probably one of the neatest moments was in our process of recruiting Casey Ryder, who transferred here last spring. She knew she's a year younger than Brobst, 2 years younger than Brobst, and she knew her because she's from the same area. And she said, yeah, I went online and watched your match, and I watched Lauren Brobst play, and that's not the same Lauren Brobst that I remember. That was a really cool statement on her part and a really neat, I think, recognition of how Brobst has developed. So last year, she was by far and away our kill leader. This year, like I said, there's more balance, so we don't have to ride her so much to get to victory. And that, I think, is taking a lot of pressure off her.
Well, this is developing as a very wacky, strap 'em on tight NCAA volleyball season. I mean, you got San Diego ranked 5th, 6th in the country. You got Washington State doing what it's never done before. And you got Iowa in a place where it hasn't been in a long, long time. So why not Iowa, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm constantly preaching to our group. I can tell you plenty of rags to riches stories. They exist in every sport. They exist even in professional sports. And I said to him the other day, can you imagine that people in LA would want to go see the Clippers more than they'd want to see the Lakers? I couldn't imagine that growing up, but that's the way it is now. How could that be? And, anything, the Golden State Warriors are the best team in California in NBA. Are you kidding me? And so there's examples like that. Holy cow, I'm a Cubs fan. I mean, imagine what that's like. You choose to believe, but the team has to believe. And so we know that no such thing is impossible when it comes to team effort and group effort and just self-belief to get something done.